Alright guys, how's it going? Now, I don't know if you can hear me or not, because I'm bombing along on the motorway, and I've got the window open a little bit for some air. I had to cut my morning briefing a little bit short because I didn't realise the time, and my girlfriend is flying in from England today, so obviously I've got to pick her up from the airport, right? And her flight is early, so I was going to record you a video when I got there, but I'm not going to be able to do that. Despite being late, I did call and get the newspapers for you, so we will review them when we get back. I want to see if there's anything in there, you know, from to do with Livermendy, to do with, you know, whether they're going to say something about Liverpool, you know. Because I like to see what the other side's got to say. I don't just go with what the Liverpool influenced journalists have to say. So I will do that when I get home, and after I've taken care of business. That'll only take 3 minutes, so I'm only joking. 2.5. So I am running late. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, don't focus on your driving. Well, I am. I haven't looked at you once, have I? In the entire time that I'm recording this video, and I'm not going to. So I don't even know if the camera's pointing at me or anything, but let's be honest, it'd be doing you a favour if it wasn't. So talking to you now is no different to talking to a passenger. And you are my passenger with me on this journey at the moment. So it's a beautiful day. I know you thought I just looked at you, but I'm looking at the clock. And yeah, it's going to be a hot day. But forget Spain, forget the weather, forget the chick. What about Liverpool Football Club? The mood today is going to be hysterical online. People are going to be in meltdown. And I don't want you to be like that. I know that's easy to say. The first thing you need to do is avoid X, Twitter, aka Twitter. Because those people, it's just misinformation 99% of the time. And it really annoys me when people bring stuff to my live streams from X, and they will say things like, I've heard that, or my understanding is, or rumour has it that, and then they make a statement, and I know exactly where it's come from because I monitor all this shit in real time for you, so I can say, nah, it's bullshit. But sometimes people come along and say it as fact, as if it's their own information, and it can be quite misleading. So what I try to do in my videos, and what I've always tried to do over the years on the KopTalk members website, which is like a community of die-hard Liverpool fans, they're amazing, is point out the misinformation and nip things in the bud sometimes, because it's not all about telling people news, it's also about examining and analysing things. I can't even say it, analysing things. And to be honest, you probably spend more time debunking stuff than you do passing on information that's been shared with you. But if you go on X, you're going to have a meltdown. Now, I don't, you know, what you do is up to you, that's fine. I won't be on there, other than keeping an eye on things for you. I can tell you right now that none of those numpties on there know a thing. I'm talking about people that are passing themselves off as being ITK in the know. You know, how childish is that? You only need to follow Ornstein and Joyce if you want to know what's going on at Liverpool. And you've got to remember though that it's also propaganda, right? Because they're not real journalists like journalists used to be in the long Mac you know, seedy journalists trying to get the latest scoop. These are well managed, well controlled mouthpieces for the club. And what you hear from them is what the club want you to hear, and what the club wants the outside world to know. So back in the day, if a journalist found something out, he would publish it and he'd get the exclusive or whatever. But today it's not really like that, because these journalists are so desperate, you know, not to offend, you know, because if they offend and publish things that they shouldn't, they are then excluded. So if you're employed by The Athletic, for example, or any newspaper, and you don't have that access or that special relationship anymore, you're of no value to the company. So you're in doubt. You're in, you know, your future's in doubt. Your position. And what you see with some of the journalists today, which I call the Liverpool clique of journalists, these people used to work, you know, for some of the big newspapers like the Telegraph or Guardian and things like that. Sorry, there's a vehicle broken down. They don't no longer work for them because they had scoops and they upset the club. It's just because the print media has changed so much. People don't really buy newspapers anymore. I do, I like a newspaper. But most people, younger people especially, are more interested in applications and social media and websites and things like that. So those journalists have become kind of irrelevant now, which is why you see these click journalists, the ones below Joyce and Ornstein, appearing on every fan channel they can, launching their own YouTube channels, trying to be the next Fabrizio Romano, because whether you like Fabrizio Romano or not, he's a money printing machine. That guy's a very wealthy man, trust me. And what you have to understand is Fabrizio Romano is a company. It's not just Fabrizio Romano. You know, people say, how come he's tweeting all the time? Does he never sleep? That's because, you know, some people would suggest that he has people that do that for him as well. So the print industry's changed, which is why websites now, when you visit them, like the Echo, like the Daily Mail, are plastered in advertising. Plastered to the point of being unable to browse those websites. And those adverts are no good unless people are visiting them, because the adverts have to be displayed right. So that's why they do as many clickbaity headlines as possible. More visits, more adverts are displayed, more potential to attract advertisers. So today, I think you'll see a lot of, I don't know, these journalists all having a different opinion about it. It's embarrassing. They had nothing to say, no updates prior to news coming out that the deal was off. Yet here they are, that clique of journalists. Now they knew everything. They knew what was going on. So another reason to avoid X isn't just to avoid the clickbait and misinformation. It's for your own sanity. Because I know you're passionate and you want the best for the club. It's your release, yeah? And it is disheartening. I get it. But I find that the longer you stay away from that stuff, the more at peace you'll be with your support of the club. know can't hurt, right? That's what I told my ex when I was trying to save my relationship. Nah, I'm only joking. I'll just try and throw a funny in every now and then. Don't think it works. I do hope you can hear me, otherwise I've been speaking to myself for a while. The flight lands in half an hour. She hasn't got a suitcase. I reckon I'll get there around the time it lands, I think. Beautiful view, I wish you could see it. I can see Alicante in the distance. So what now? Well, the journalists were briefed last night. The only two that you should pay attention to is Orsi and Joyce, as you know. The others just piggyback onto what they say. But all of them are going with Liverpool will not target another number 6 this summer. Which, if that was true, I'm not even going to go there. I just think if it was true, it would be disastrous, really. You know, you can't have these journalists coming out having the audacity to tell us that the number 6 has always been a priority this window, and then in mid-August say, yeah, we don't need a number 6 now because the one that we were looking at's not interested. That would be shambolic. So I'm hoping that is just the club trying to put that vibe out there that, hey, we're not desperate, we're not looking for a number 6, so we're not just going to pay what you want. Well, you know, sometimes you just got to pay stuff, haven't you? You got to pay it, just get it fucking done. If you remember last year with the, do you remember, was it Lavia? I remember many fans going, this is just embarrassing now. It's just embarrassing. Trying to do stuff on the cheap all the time, insulting other clubs. You know you've got to try and, you don't offer more. You know, if a house is for sale for 150,000, you don't offer 160. You don't offer 150. You're trying to get them down because you know they've overpriced it a little bit. And that's business. But sometimes, why not just pay the market value? And that's what I think they're going to have to do this summer. It is embarrassing. You know, when I was telling you about Liverpool speaking to Wolves recently, what was the message from there? Wolves were saying Liverpool are taking the piss, they're trying to get things done on the cheap. And Wolves and any other football club knows that another club is going to try and do things that's more financially beneficial for them. But Wolves were like, nah, they're taking the piss. And it's that mentality that's got to stop, man. We are embarrassing at times. But I'll say this to you. When I work out what this car's doing on my inside. What date is it? It's the 13th, I think. I think it's the 13th. So we've got 17 more days of the transfer window. And I'm still hopeful. I still think we will do business. But what you have to do is not fall for this shit like you did last year. Many people last year were raging like this. And then they did something, you know, Endo, Gravenberch. And everyone's happy again. And then trying to tell us that people like Endo are world-class superstars. It's like they're doing the job, but they're the top Reds. You know what they're like. Oh, I'm speeding. I'm going to slow down a little bit. We're going into a tunnel now. Tunnel de San Juan. You know, we've become managed to the point where you sign a promising player, you know, good player, very good player, and get that over the line. Oh yeah, we mean business. It's like, the fuck? Look at the players that have left and that haven't been replaced. guys, I can't go mental yet. I just can't, because the window hasn't closed. I will assess it when the window closes. And mark my words, if it ended with nothing, I'll go fucking mental. Because I ain't afraid to call them out. I don't think we'll be able to do it on YouTube though, like we could in the old days. But I'll certainly point you in the right direction. But I remain hopeful. I do, honestly. Because the most suspicious thing about all of the Vubamende situation was the way the news was leaked. It was managed. They wanted it out there. Whose benefit was it for? Remember that. Remember that. Every time you see something leaked from a credible journal, you ask yourself, why am I reading this? Who wants me to know this? Who does it benefit? So if you look at what Joyce, when he named the player, which you shouldn't, you don't name a player that you're interested in signing, especially when there's clauses that other clubs could also trigger. You have to ask why they did that. And I think that was to put pressure, or to maintain pressure on another option, a plan B, if you like. So I keep emphasising this, guys, over and over again, the way that news was brought out. Some of you I know think that it's just the club trying to make out they're trying to do something. I can't go down that route, I really can't. So I'll sign off. I've been recording for a bit now. And I would ask you just to try and not let it affect you too much, and realise that there still is time to do business. Hughes and Edwards look, well, especially Hughes, look ridiculous at the moment, embarrassing. But if they pull something off, everyone will forget the Vubamende thing and say, we didn't want him anyway. So you shouldn't judge yet. You've got to wait to the end of the window. I'm knackered, guys. I've had about 4 hours sleep, broken sleep as well. She's going to be knackered because she's been up since like 2:30 or something. Both of us are going to be miserable as sin today. So I should go, really. I don't know how far off I am from the airport. I think I'm going to be there on time. That's one thing that's good about Spain, is the motorways, if you like this. It's only 2 lanes, no hold-ups, just flowing traffic. If I was in England, I'd be stressed the fuck now. So, I'll love you and leave you. I know my video is probably just, I don't know what the video is really. I don't even know what to title it. I know you're frustrated, guys, I really do. I am as well. But we've got to see what happens, because the mood can change like that. If it doesn't change and the window ends miserably, then it's important that we all speak up. We need more Liverpool fan channels on YouTube, because it's populated by top Reds. It's populated by people that won't say boo. They don't want to lose their access. They don't want to lose their interviews. They don't want to lose their revenue. Greedy. That's why it's good that we do have some fan channels that have started, or well, not started, that are new. that bigger representation. We don't want a lot of loons being angry and shouting and fucking carrying on. Leave that to me. But we do need more voices, and collectively, more people together is a louder voice. So if you're fed up with the way that the club is run under FSG, if you're sick of the long dramas and trying to penny pinch here and there, why not start a YouTube channel? I mean, maybe you haven't got time, maybe you don't want to be on, YouTube or whatever, I get that. Maybe if you're a younger person, you might have a bit more time. Don't be scared, don't be nervous. What you can do is you use your mobile phone. Everyone's got a decent mobile these days. Put the phone on the side and put it on its side. Landscape, like your TV shape at home. Makes me laugh when people film upright, like portrait. You don't have your telly in room. You imagine watching a film with your TV stood up on its side. And always remember to look at where the camera is recording from, not yourself. Record a video, right? And you don't have to upload it. Play it back, do it a few times. Find a way to start your videos, because if you haven't got a way to start your videos, you might stumble, which is why I tend to always start my videos. All right, guys, how's it going? It just sets me up, you know what I mean? Like, I'm ready, go, let's fucking go. Don't think, I'm going to do a YouTube channel to make money, because then your heart's not in the right place, I think. When I started KopTalk back in the 1990s, I did it because I was a die-hard Liverpool fan. And I wanted to update Liverpool fans all over the world on this new internet thing. When I was 15, I used to go to Malta a lot with my parents. And there was no internet then. And there was a fella that worked in the hotel, the complex that we used to stay in, that was a Liverpool fan. I mean, Maltese Liverpool fans are very, very passionate. And he had no access to newspapers, magazines and whatever. But do you know what I used to do? I used to get my football magazines, Shoot, Match, I think there was one called 90 Minutes. And whenever I finished reading them, I used to just put them on a pile, and I used to post them out to him in Malta. Now I'd pay for it. My dinner money, or my mum would give me some money, you know what I mean? Might have cost like £7, £8 or something. It was a lot of money back then. Especially when you're 15. Because I wanted to update someone. I wanted someone that was passionate about Liverpool to be able to read things about Liverpool. That was the first real chance that he could read all this stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure he could get magazines and that out there, but we certainly have a lot more. We had a lot more available to us, and imported magazines to an island like Malta would be expensive. And when I started KopTalk, I guess it was a similar way. I wanted to update Liverpool fans all over the world that didn't have access to our newspapers and things, because the newspapers were not really online then. I used to buy newspapers, every newspaper on a Sunday, for example. I used to steal them as well because I had a paper round. Well, I say steal, I guess borrow them. I'd borrow them, take them home. Sorry, I didn't have a paper round. My friend had a paper round. My friend had a paper round, and that sounds wrong, doesn't it? Like, how old's your friend? It was a family member's partner's son, and they had a paper round, and I used to say to him, bring me, oh, there's the airport turning, nice one. I used to say, bring me this, and while they'd go off on the paper round, I would work with those newspapers and then give them back and then take them back to the shop or whatever. But I did have a paper round when I was very young. And it was a massive paper round, as you can tell. Why am I telling you about the papers? Because there was no online websites, right? So let's say there was a 2-page spread interview with Kenny Dalglish. I used to type it up word for fucking word, just so that people, Liverpool fans around the world, could have access to it. I mean, that's some fucking... I used to spend hours doing that, guys. Hours. Manually typing up all these things. When I used to go to Melwood, no one had ever really seen Melwood before. The technology wasn't there now, the ease of access. So I used to go to Melwood, take dozens and dozens of photographs, go and get them scanned manually on on my scanner at home. First of all, I had to go and get them printed at Boots, then take them home and scan every single image manually into the computer, crop it, save it as a file, and upload it to a server. Every picture. Whereas now you can just point and click and you've got it on your phone and you can share it. There was a lot of effort went into it, guys. I had a mailing list and I used to update Liverpool fans all over the world. And that was how KopTalk was born, from the mailing list. Things have changed a lot, trust me. A lot. And that's why it gets a little bit upsetting sometimes when people come on your channel or they leave you a smart comment like, you're only recording a video for views. And I think, do you realise what I used to do to keep our fans updated back in the day? No one else fucking did it. At all. I can't check my phone to see there's an EasyJet flight. Is that EasyJet? Yeah, but she's not on EasyJet. I just seen it. I'm driving sort of like parallel with the runway at the moment. I don't know whether to go around and watch the flight land or just wait around here. I'm not sure if it's landed yet. But I made it anyway. I know I'm waffling on, but I just wanted to speak to you, really. Big shout out to those of you that support my channel members. You see them come in the chats and I always go squad. I don't want to knock the camera. Squad. They're the ones with the little footballs next to the name. They're heroes. They make it possible. Here we go. My channel members, people that buy me a beer and a coffee, anything like that. My VIP members. Wow. I'm going to start doing recording videos for people that sign up to the VIP members website, because that's a big deal to me, that, guys. Really, really is. Especially in winter. See, I like what I do. What the fuck? There's a great big lorry on the wrong side of the road. Yeah, I like what I do. I love the interaction with you guys. Whoa! Whoa! What's that all about? Running for that? We've ordered a drink. I do, I love it. But I won't be able to do it without your support. Impossible. Because if I didn't have your support, I'd be sat there going, how am I going to pay this? How am I going to pay that? Bills, real life. Do you know what I mean? But a nice comment is just as valuable to me. You know, encouragement. I get little stories sometimes. People will say, I'm in hospital, I've been watching your vids that cheer me up. you know, stuff like that. There's a flight, I can see a plane in the distance. I think this is going to be her. But these cars are going too slow, I'm not going to be able to. Come on, you. There's a plane in the distance. I can just see the lights at the front of it, so it's coming down to land. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited. I'd be even more excited if these cars got out of the way. Right, you can bugger off. But now we've got a little van in front of us. That's her as well, that's a Ryanair plane, I'm sure it is. We're going over a speed bump. Come on! It is her, man. Yeah! Let's see if I can show you. Where are we? Concentrating now. You see it? I think it's gone out of sight. That's my girl right there. Oh, my battery's gonna run out. What the fuck? Ooh. Right. So she's landed. I need to drive around to the main terminal now. I hope you enjoyed this little ramble. Fuck knows what I spoke about, but you got me here very quick, so I'm glad about that. I will speak to you later today, guys. All right. It's a little run around. It's not my car, this, to be honest with you. But it's all right. Got me here at least. All right, guys. Listen, if you appreciate the video, please thumbs up. Drop me a comment. If you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, hit the super thanks button. It's a love heart. Nice one. All right, speak to you in a bit, guys.